Hi everybody! Welcome to Makers Monday. I am Anastasia Radloff, aka Stampin' Blondie, and it's great to have you join me again this week for another fun crafting week. I hope you all had a wonderful and exciting Halloween weekend. I can't believe Thanksgiving is in a couple weeks. But let me just make sure that I am going live here. If you're watching live, make sure to follow along and comment. Let me know where you're watching from. It's always fun to see where everybody's joining me for the week. So like I said, I hope you all had a really fun and exciting weekend. It was Halloween. My husband and I got to spend some time together just around town before I went back onto quarantine status today because my surgery has been rescheduled to this Friday. I'm very excited to, fingers crossed, have it on this coming Friday and just get it over and done with. So I had my second COVID test today and I'm back on quarantine and I'll telework the rest of the week and then surgery on Friday. So looks like I am popped up here. Make sure to let me know if you're watching along live. Like I said, it's fun to see where everybody's watching from. If you're watching this on replay via YouTube or Facebook, make sure to post that you're watching replay and comment, say hi. Every week we have a fun prize patrol drawing, so make sure to like and comment and share this video. Make sure to comment that you shared. Sometimes Facebook doesn't always let me know who has shared. So if you want to be entered into this week's prize patrol drawing, that is the quick and easy way to do so. All right, looks like we've got a great group of people here today, so let me go ahead and swap the camera out. So if you're new to Makers Monday, the first thing that I do is I always go over some quick and easy announcements before we go into our projects. I want to go over our prize patrol from last week. The prize for last week sharing the video was this, what was it, 1/4 inch? Yep, 1/4 inch white seam binding ribbon. And our winner for last week's prize patrol was Rena Porter. So congratulations to Rena. All she had to do was share the video to get entered to win. So congratulations to Rena, and she'll receive a full roll of this 1/4 inch seam binding ribbon. And I can't get my post-it note off. There we go. So I'm not going to share our prize patrol just yet because I'm going to talk about it a little bit here. But I did want to let everybody know that my November class kit has been released for registration. So I put this out via my newsletter yesterday, and I also posted on here. This is November's class kit. So this month we are featuring the Peace and Joy bundle from the August through December mini catalog. In this class kit, you will make 6 cards, 2 of each of the 3 designs here. And there are 5 different crafting options depending on your crafting budget. So everywhere from just the paper where you don't need any products, all the way up to a full bundle, including the stamp set and dies. So this is the Peace and Joy stamp set that we're going to be featuring this month. It is a photopolymer stamp set, meaning it's completely see-through and clear, so you can see exactly where you're stamping at. This was actually the first stamp set from Christmas that I bought from this catalog. I like how you can create not only holiday projects, but also bright and fun birthday cards as well. So this stamp set is not strictly just for Christmas or the holiday season. You can create some really fun and bright birthday cards as well. So I also created this other alternate project using the stamp set. So for this, I used some white crafting ink in the back. Now this is a pigment ink, so it takes a lot longer to dry. I heat gunned it so it would dry faster, and then cut out my sentiment and my little on earth piece here. Pop that up. So a quick and easy project that you can see, these are all completely different from each other. Now for this class, for November's class, the kits that include product, you will receive a package of the clear and frosted epoxy droplets. So they come both together in one package. They're frosted or clear. And the best part about these is that you can color them with Stampin' blends to make them whatever color you want to match your project. So you'll receive one package of that. We're also going to have this, it's a combo ribbon pack. So you get a package of this like gauzy, very vanilla ribbon, and also this gold like trim twine ribbon. And then my favorite designer series paper, you can see I've used a lot of it already. This is the brightly gleaming specialty designer series paper from the August through December mini catalog. Now this has really pretty gold foiling in the paper. So this class with the products, you'll receive a half a package of this designer series paper, the full 2 rolls of ribbon, and the package of frosted and clear epoxy droplets. Registration deadline for this is November 15th. If you're interested in signing up, all the details and all the different class options can be found in the description of this video. So something for everybody's budget is in this class. And this is the bundle you can find on page 18 of our catalog. This is the stamp set and then the coordinating dies to go with it. So if you're interested in signing up for November's class to create these 3 projects, just fill out the registration in the description of this video and we will get you all signed up. Today I am going to be showing you 2 projects using some new product that isn't even out yet. It is available starting tomorrow and it's called the Curvy Celebrations. Now this is an out of publication release and some of these items are coming to the January through June mini catalog. So in the description of this video is this flyer, so you can look at this later as well. But on the back side here, we have something called the Quite Curvy Bundle. Now this is coming to the January through June mini catalog and it's an early release from that catalog here. So we have a stamp set and dies, and they're photopolymer stamps, so you can see exactly where you're stamping at. And these are the dies that go along with it. Now we also have a Curvy Christmas stamp set. Now this stamp set will not be available in the January through June catalog and is only available while supplies last. So if you like it, you want to make sure to grab that because it could sell out and they would not bring that back. So this is the Curvy Christmas stamp set. This also coordinates with the Quite Curvy and stamp set and the Curvy dies. So this is also a photopolymer stamp set, perfect for creating quick and simple holiday cards. And then the last thing that is available in this bundle is the new Classic Christmas 6x6 Designer Series paper. Now this is definitely classic Christmas. So you have your cherry cobbler, shaded spruce, and crumb cake designs. And these are very pretty and very simple for creating your holiday projects. Of course, they're dual-sided, so you have 2 different designs on each side. And you get 48 sheets, 4 of each, 4 double designs. So you get 48 different designs here, or 48 different sheets of these designs, and they are very pretty. Now, our prize patrol for today is if you share the video, you can be entered to win a package of the 6x6 Classic Christmas Designer Series paper. So before it is even released, you can win a package of this. So make sure to comment and share my video, like that you shared it, comment that you shared it, just so I know that you are going to be entered to win a package of this paper. Now, if you like everything you see here, there is one item number that you can get: the Curvy dies, the Curvy Christmas stamp set, the Quite Curvy stamp set, and the Classic Christmas 6x6 Designer Series paper. At the bottom here, you can save 10% by using one item code for everything. So quick and easy checkout. Now, if you are a demonstrator, you can also get your 20 to 25% discount on top of that, and on top of everything you see here. So if you're interested in receiving more off your order, you can always ask about joining the Stampin' Blondie team, and I would be happy to give you any information about that. So our two projects that we are going to create today, let me grab them here. Here is the first one using that Curvy Christmas stamp set, and then the second one uses the Quite Curvy stamp set. I wanted to highlight them both and show you them how easy it would be to create these two projects. Now I also created one additional project that I'm not going to do here today just because it would take a little bit longer. But this is using the Quite Curvy stamp set and coordinating dies. And then you can see here the polka die, curvy die, and then also the Made with Love Just for You. Now this I did emboss using the subtle embossing folder, so that obviously adds an additional step, but I also used my Stampin' blends here to create this really fun fall, like kind of ombre look of the leaves. So this is an additional project that I did. I'm not going to be highlighting this today, but just a fun and fun project that I did using the additional projects. All right, so we are going to go ahead and get started. We're actually going to work on this project first just because it takes a little bit longer. So here I have my Tuxedo Black Memento ink. We're going to be using that today because we're going to be coloring in with our Stampin' blends. Now I have the Dark and Light Pool Party. I have Dark and Light Granny Apple Green and Dark and Light Old Olive. Now my Old Olive is on its last legs. I need to get a new one, but that is what we're going to be using today. I also have a piece of 5.5 by 8.5 Whisper White cardstock. Now, if you want to know the measurements, as always, I have this free PDF listed on my blog. You can click the description of this video and it has the link, and it takes you to all the products, product numbers, and the prices of the items I use for my projects today, as well as measurements for each project, so you don't have to write everything down. Let me keep this out just in case I need to reference that for you guys. There we go. So we have a 5.5 by 8.5 piece of Whisper White cardstock. Now this is from the 6x6 Classic Christmas Designer Series paper. This is cut to 2 1/4 by 5.5. This is die cut from the Painted Labels dies. I pre-did that just to save us a little bit of time. And then I have a piece of 4 inches by 5.5 of Whisper White cardstock. I'm also going to be using the blue adhesive backed gems, and you'll need a scratch piece of Whisper White cardstock. There's the label that I cut from the Painted Labels dies. That's what the die set looks like. All right, so to begin, we're going to fold our piece of Whisper White cardstock in half and use our bone folder to crisp up our line here. We want to do that because that'll hold everything down when we are working on our project. So for our piece of 6x6 Designer Series paper, we are going to adhere that right to the edge of our card here on the left-hand side. So as far left as you can get is where we're going to line this up right on the edge here. Now this piece of cardstock that I have here, I'm going to cut out using this kind of floral die right here. Now with these dies, you want to use them kind of in the opposite direction of how you want it cut. So I'm going to bring in my Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine so you guys can see exactly what I'm doing here. I have my base plate and my thin adapter plate. I have a clear plate number 3 and my piece of paper here. Now with these dies, they are going to cut along this edge here. So if I want this like floral design on one side, I'm going to put that towards this side of the paper because this will stay and this side will cut. If I were to do it this way, then this part would get cut off because this is the cutting line right here. So I'm just going to put this right on my paper. Now you could use your magnetic platform if you wanted to, but I just wanted to show you what it looks like with just the regular die here. Now this is, I may have to stand up for this part. let's see, sometimes putting a die straight in without any kind of angle can be a little tough. So let me crank it. There we go. And that cuts that edge off. So let's move this over here and I'll show you what it did. See, like I said, it cuts this part off, so I wanted that flowery kind of edge to be on this side, and you can save this for another project. This would be really good as like rolling snow hills for a different project, so I'm just gonna put that off to the side. And then this is what we have left over here. Put that over there. So I'm gonna take my Take Your Pick tool and just go in here and poke these little pieces out. Now this is very easy to poke them out. You don't have to use the wax paper technique with these. It's not that intricate of a die, but if it was a more intricate die, I would definitely suggest using wax paper in between your paper and die, just so it wouldn't stick in there. So let's clean that up. And we're gonna adhere this part with dimensionals, but I wanna do my stamping first. Now before I do this, I wanna line this up to my card and see how much this is gonna overlap. So perfect amount right there. You'll be able to see that polka dot design right through the edge. All right, let's get out our stamp set, and we are going to use the Quite Curvy stamp, and it's this leaf one right here. Now for this stamp, it is a bigger and a longer stamp, so you're going to need your clear block eye. So we've got that, and then I like to put my stamp upside down, and I'm going to ink it up with my Tuxedo Black Memento ink. Because this is kind of an intricate stamp, I just like to hold it while I do that. And I'm going to make it so my curve goes to the right. And I'm just gonna stamp right there. And there's our leaf. Now while I have my Tuxedo Memento open, I'm also going to stamp my sentiment, the Made with Love Just For You. And I like this sentiment because this can be a perfect card for a congratulations. It can be a birthday card, an anniversary card. You can make so many different sentiments with this, or projects with this sentiment. It doesn't have to just be a certain type of occasion that you can use it for. All right, so we're gonna put that off to the side and we're gonna color. Now I want, let me grab my, because we're using Stampin' Blends, you're gonna wanna cover up your crafting area because Stampin' Blends will bleed through your paper. And what we're gonna do is I'm gonna start with my dark old olive. So for the project here, I did just about every other leaf. I just outlined the veins in the leaf here, and then I'll come in with the lighter version and just quickly color them in. So with Stampin' Blends, you can kind of freely go with them because they do tend to feather just a little bit. You want to not go too close to the lines when you're coloring the outside of it. So I'm just gonna quickly color that in. This is the dark old olive. Now I'm gonna come in with my light and just fill in those leaves that I've highlighted here. Now, like I said, my light old olive marker is kind of on its last legs. I need to buy a new one, but it still works for this. And when you do this, you can get more detailed. Like I'm just coloring these in really quickly, but the whole point of Stampin' Blends is to kind of get rid of that harsh line. Let me try the other side. I made some ornaments with these, and so I think I just need to get a new one. I colored on wood slices, so it really kind of destroyed my Stampin' Blends, my old olive at least. Just need to get another one. All right, now same thing with the Granny Apple Green. I did this with the dark first, and then you're just gonna quickly color in the veins here. And I wanted to do this because I wanted my leaves to be different colors. You can see here they're not all the same green. I wanted to have some variation, just like a regular vine of leaves. They're not all gonna be exactly the same color, so I wanted just to highlight different ones and make them different colors. And you can see how fast this comes together with Stampin' Blends. Okay, coming in with the light Granny Apple Green, just to color in those final leaves. Maybe my Granny Apple is on the last legs too. Add that to the list. Let's try the brush end. That may give me more. Here we go. And there. All right, so now we're gonna, this is why I'm telling you, that's why you want to use Stampin' or cover up your space when you use Stampin' Blends. Now for the back of this, we're gonna use dimensionals, and just a few on here will work. I like to put one on each corner and one in the middle to get exactly the coverage that you need. So we're gonna put that on there. And here's our project. And then this one, I'm just gonna butt this one up right to the edge of our card here. So we have that really pretty piece, and it's popped up here so you can have the background of the polka dot show through as well. And then our sentiment for this, I'm going to put a dimensional on the back on this side because it's gonna hang off. And then on this side, I'm just gonna use regular adhesive. If I do dimensionals on both sides, this right side would be stepped up 2 times, and so it would be uneven. So we're just gonna put that right there and our dimensional on that side. Now this little bird, there is a coordinating die to go with it, but it's quick and easy to fussy cut. So what I did is I took this, there's 3 different birds actually. So I'm using this little guy here and just regular pool party Stampin' Blends for this. And you can easily fussy cut this out. It would probably take me longer to set it up on the die than it would to actually just cut it out by hand. So I'm not going to do too much blending here, so my space doesn't need to be covered up. And just a quick color in, and you have a nice little cute bluebird. And cut it out with scissors. Like I said, you could use the dies, but probably setting it up on the die would take more time than just actually fussy cutting it out. And does anybody else do that? Like when you have dies and you know, you're like, it would just take much longer to set it all up on the die than I could just cut it out by hand, and it would be so much easier. I have a couple of them that I like to do that with. It saves a little bit of time. There you go. I mean, granted, you don't get the little feet cut out like the die does, but it does the same trick. So on the back of this, I did not use Stampin' Dimensionals. I just used a little bit of liquid glue. It's really small area to use with our tape runner, so I just did liquid glue and I put that right there. And then a final touch, I used these are the adhesive backed blue gems. These are in our August through December mini catalog, and they're 2 different colors. You have like a darker blue and like a bright blue, and I used the brighter blue right there just to kind of match the color of the bluebird here. And this is our first project using the new Quite Curvy bundle that'll debut tomorrow. It's not even available just yet. So here's a little sneak peek and our first project. So I hope you guys really like that one. This one was probably my favorite one out of the 2, although I think this one is probably my favorite with the ombre leaves in the fall. I just love that one. All right, so let me put some of this away, and we are gonna transition into our second project here. And this features the classic Christmas Designer Series paper. I wanted to do a project that showcased this paper, but also the Curvy stamp set as well. So we are going to use the Curvy Christmas stamp set. Now this is the one that's not going to be available in the January through June mini catalog, and so it's only available now until it's January 3rd, I think, or until supplies last for this one. So we are not going to use any coordinating dies, so I'm gonna move these off to the side just so they aren't in our way here. And then you guys can see the whole stamp set here. So I decided to use shaded spruce for this card because it coordinates with our designer series paper. So this is cut at 5.5 inches by 8.5 inches. And again, all the details and dimensions on these projects are on the free PDF from my blog that is in the description of this video. I also have a piece of Whisper White cardstock, and this is cut at 3 3/4 by 5 1/8. That is my basic card size that I use for matting of all my projects, 3 3/4 by 5 1/8. And I'm going to use this May Your Days Be Merry and Bright stamp set. I'm going to use Shaded Spruce ink, Mango Melody for our stars, and then Cherry Cobbler for this little bow here. Now there is no die for the bow, so we will have to fussy cut that one out. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start with my sentiment first. And this will give me the gauge on where I'm gonna add my paper after. Let me grab the right one. There we go. I was looking at it upside down and couldn't read it. So May Your Days Be Merry and Bright. You can use a regular H block for this size. And we are going to stamp that in Shaded Spruce here. Now I want to put it not all the way at the bottom, but because I want to give myself space for our bow down there. And that is Shaded Spruce to coordinate with our background piece here. Oh, I got a little ink on there. That's okay, it happens. So we are going to do our ribbons here now. So what I did for this is I'm gonna build from the bottom up, and I'm going to layer them so that they will still have some space in between here. This is a very easy like quilting technique that anybody can do, and it's perfect for beginners to do this technique. So I have some pieces of this designer series paper just cut into 1/2 inch strips. They don't have to be certain lengths because you're gonna hack off most of it. But what I'm gonna do is I'm going to start with one here, and I'm just going to build my layer up. And I wanted to do different pieces of the designer series paper. So I'm gonna start this one here, and then I'm gonna make sure my lines, everything lines up right there for that second piece. And then just build your way up here. So we've got our next piece, and this is gonna line up with the bottom of this one, and just give yourself some space there. And then the next one I'm gonna do is red, but I'm gonna use the opposite side of this paper. Just make sure it looks like you used a bunch of different patterns, but you're using the same paper, so you don't actually have to cut a ton of different things for this. And you're just gonna work your way up. So on the back of the stars, we have these like holly branches, and we're gonna put that, line that up here, and then just keep layering. So now we have Christmas trees. Now with this paper, you wanna make sure when you cut it that you cut it with the trees going the right way. You don't wanna make your trees going vertical when they needed to be horizontal. So we're just gonna line that there. Our next one, back to the polka dot side. So adhesive there. And just line this up here. And then another piece of the stars. Oh, my adhesive's out. Good thing I grabbed an extra because I knew I was gonna run out during this video. So you can see how quick and easy it'll be to change out our adhesive. This is the Stampin' Seal. I'm not using Stampin' Seal Plus, just regular Stampin' Seal, and it just pops in and out just like that, and you are good to go for the next project. And advance the adhesive, and there you go. So we've got our last piece here with the stars. Oh, make sure it goes the right way. And there we go. Now for this, you're gonna take this to your paper trimmer. So let me get out my paper trimmer here. And I have a little one, so I'm just gonna use this little one. Everything's falling on me here. So what I'm gonna do is on the back here, you're gonna cut off right where your lines are of your Whisper white paper. So put this into view so you can see. So you're gonna line your paper up on your trimmer, and you're gonna cut off those pieces. Same thing here, line up on your trimmer, cut off, and your last bit, cut off here. Now, we can keep going here. If I'm frozen, this is recording, so you guys can watch this later. Hopefully it picks back up there. Looks like I'm still going, so you guys can see that part. Now, what I'm gonna do is take my Mango Melody ink. Now, I just re-inked this earlier this afternoon, so I wanna be very careful with my stamp here. And we're just gonna ink up my stars. And I'm gonna put stars kind of all over, just random sections. You don't have to put them in a certain order. We're just gonna keep adding stars to the project. Now it looks like I'm still freezing up. So like I said, it'll catch up, or you can watch it on replay. I don't know what's going on. I have them both on my internet extender, so not sure why I'm freezing, but keep with me, we'll get there. All right, so I'm not gonna put any stars here in the middle because that is where my my bow is going to go. So I've got my Mango Melody stars, and now we're going to stamp this bow, and we're gonna fussy cut that out. So I'm stamping my bow in Cherry Cobbler ink, and we're just going to stamp that on a piece of scratch Whisper white cardstock. And I inked up my Cherry Cobbler earlier as well, so that is perfect. I did the right amount of ink. Now, like I said, there is not a die for this, so you will have to fussy cut the bow out here. So we're just gonna put this along here. I hope you guys can see this. I know it's freezing a little. I'm sorry about that. You know, gotta love internet. It's something we can't live without, but when it doesn't work, it's very annoying. So hopefully it catches up and you guys can watch, but if not, it's recording, so it'll also it'll catch it on the recording too. So we are gonna fussy cut this out here, and there we go. Just gonna follow the lines. This is a quick and easy one to fussy cut because the lines are rounded and simple, so you can easily cut these out here. And we're just gonna cut that part. There we go. Now, before I adhere my bow, I'm gonna put this onto my cardstock. So I have dimensionals for the back of this, and we've got dimensionals there, one in the middle. Put these off. And adhere this right to the middle of our paper. And then our bow also has a dimensional. So I like to put one on each side because that little area is perfect for the size of a dimensional here. And then we've got the bow, and you can just put that right there. Now, if you really wanted to class this up even more, you could add some Wink of Stella glitter brush to this just to kind of make it a little more fun. But this is our second project today using the new Curvy Celebrations items that will be debuting tomorrow. So I hope you all had a great time with me today on Makers Monday. Once again, I'm so sorry for the internet freezing. Hopefully you guys are able to see everything, and it'll be all recorded so you can all watch it later as well. If you have any questions about the products or you'd like to place an order, make sure to check out my weekly host code that is posted in the description of this video. As a reminder, I will not be having a Makers Monday next week. With my surgery, fingers crossed, rescheduled for this Friday, I will be recovering and resting over the weekend. I hope you all have an amazing week, and I will see you again in 2 weeks for another week of Makers Monday. Bye!